This is my John Deere 4010 diesel. My grandpa bought it brand new in 1962 in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. It was the first one in the area. Like everyone else just had the old 2-cylinder John Deere tractors. He brought this one in the area. And I know it don't sound like much, but he used to be able to pull 14 feet of cultivator at 5 miles an hour. And that was pretty fast compared to the 2.5 miles an hour at 10 feet that the other guys were doing. Brought it down here with my Dodge. You guys all know how that's going. Brought that down there with it. Pulled it up some pretty steep hills and overdrive 75 miles an hour, passing little cars, no problem. And this tractor weighs about 10,000 pounds. It's ballasted pretty good. And it was on a 3,000-4,000 pound trailer. So the truck's got a fair amount of horsepower. Brought it down here. The reason why it was parked is the clutch is screwed. It's worn right out. It's at the end of its free play adjustment. And it slips really bad. When I got it down here, I realized the motor was seized because it's been sitting for about 13-14 years outside. It had the weather cap on the muffler, but that doesn't mean much. So, took the injectors out, all 6 of them. Number 4 here was seized in, so we had to wiggle with it for a bit, got it out. Filled all the cylinders up with WD-40 and let it sit for a week. And then yesterday, tried it again. The starter wouldn't bust it over because the batteries are really weak. Like they've been dead for 13 years. So I stuck a screwdriver in the timing hole, which is down here, on the ring gear. Moved it back and forth, kept wiggling it, and it broke free. And I got it to spin over yesterday. And we get a little sniff of ether, and it was trying to start, but there's still air in the system. And then the batteries on the Dodge that it was hooked to were going low, and the batteries on my GMC, which it was also hooked to, were going low. So we gave up on it for the day. Just got to bleed it some more, and then it should start. It's been sitting for 13 years, like I said, so all the hydraulics and like the power steering and brakes and stuff were pretty well bone dry. And cranking it over, the steering actually started to work. So the life came back into the old tractor on its own. Figured you guys would be interested in it. And this is my 87 Honda Big Red. Like, is it 91 CTD? Pardon me if I'm wrong. I think that's his username. He has an 83 model. This is my 87. It's pretty well mint. There's a couple little scratches on it. My grandpa bought it new. My step-grandpa. He bought it brand new in 87 and barely ever used it. He just parked it pretty well. And then he gave it to me this summer. And I brought it down. And as you can see, it snowed last night, so I took it out for play in the snow. So I had a bit of fun with that. These brackets here are for a farmhand front end loader deal thing. It's almost like a big rollover bar with a front end loader built into it. We didn't bring that down because it's kind of a clumsy thing and got no use for it. So this is the old 4010. It's got, now this isn't the original hour meter. Let's see if you can see that. That's 4,962 hours on that hour meter alone. Because the original hour meter seized up and quit working, so John Deere recalled it and brought it in, put a new hour meter in free of charge. And also, midway through the 70s, they recalled it, or not 70s, midway through the 60s, they recalled it. Right when the 4020 was in full swing, about 65, 66, brought it in, took out the 4010 pistons and liners and put in 4020 pistons and liners. So essentially, it's got 4020 horsepower in a 4010 package, which the 4010 and 4020 are basically the same, except the 4020 had the power shift option and a couple of other little goodies, minor goodies on it. As you can see, it's got no turbocharger, just a naturally aspirated old tractor, which definitely got the job done back in its day. I'm going to fix it up and use it like for picking rocks and pulling the road float and stuff like that. I'm going to put a new clutch in it and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned. And then on the Dodge here, the reason why it's in the shop is the starter quit working. like it wouldn't engage. I thought, okay, the bendix drive screwed up on it. All the bolts were loose and it was hanging out of the motor that far. So that was the problem with that. I'm getting a new starter for it anyway because it was cranking over slow to begin with. But yeah, I'll see if I can get the tractor started and take some videos. Also, it is November 6th. Oh, that's my new dog, Hooch. He's about 3 years old. I don't know, he's some sort of mutt. He's got little short legs on him, but he's a friendly little bugger. Snowed. A lot. Well, not a lot. Like half an inch in places. Well, yeah, that's my update. Sorry I haven't been making videos. I've been real busy with everything. But I'll try and make some videos this winter if I can help it. And here's the side shields. They're both in really good shape, actually, which is kind of unusual. Usually they're all lost. Oh, and another kind of fact, when my grandpa ordered it, he special ordered it, they didn't come with the pre-cleaner on the hood. It just sucked the air from in front of the radiator. So what he did is he ordered the pre-cleaner with the dust bowl on it, and he ordered this mesh here is a pre-screener. There's a screen for it. And what that is it keeps straw and chaff out of the pre-cleaner. And really, Dad said, like Grandpa passed away in '68, Dad said that you rarely ever had to clean the oil in the air filter because the pre-cleaner works so well. So Grandpa was a really smart guy back in his day. But that's my 4010. Thanks, guys.